So we have done what is South Asia as an introduction. In a very brief, we will be doing the political systems of different countries of South Asia, and all the countries of South Asia do not have the same kind of political system. Despite many problems and limitations, Sri Lanka and India have successfully operated a democratic system since their independence from the British. Secondly, Pakistan and Bangladesh have experienced both civilian and military rules, with Bangladesh remaining a democracy in the post-Cold War period. Pakistan began the post-Cold War period with successive democratic government under Benazir Bhutto and Nawaz Sharif respectively, but it suffered a military coup in 1999 and had been run by a military regime up till 2018, when Imran Khan won the general elections and became the Prime Minister of Pakistan. Fourthly, till 2006, Nepal was a constitutional monarchy. That means the monarch is getting powers from the constitution. With the danger of king taking over the executive power, in 2006 a successful popular uprising led to the restoration of democracy and reduced the king to the nominal position. So when we look at the experiences of Bangladesh and Nepal, we can say that democracy is becoming an accepted norm in the entire region of South Asia. Fifthly, Bhutan is still a monarchy, but the king has initiated plans for its transition to a multi-party democracy. Sixthly, the Maldives, the island nation, was under sultanate till 1968, when it was transformed into a republic with the presidential form of government. That means more powers to the president. In June 2005, the Parliament of Maldives voted unanimously to introduce a multi-party system. The Maldives Democratic Party (MDP) dominates the political system of the island. The democracy strengthened in the Maldives after 2005 elections, when some opposition parties were legalized. Now when we talk about Afghanistan, we can say that the politics of Afghanistan consist of Council of Ministers, provincial governors, the National Assembly with the President serving as the head of the state and Commander-in-Chief of the Afghan Armed Forces. The nation is currently led by President Ashraf Ghani, who is backed by two vice presidents. In the last decades, the politics of Afghanistan have been influenced by NATO countries, particularly US, in an effort to stabilize and democratize the country. So we will be doing all these countries, their political system and the working of democracy in these countries in details in the coming few lectures. Now when we say that despite that the democratic experience in this country or in all these South Asian countries had mixed records, but all these countries share the aspiration for democracy. That means the people of these countries want to establish democracy in their country. There is widespread support of democracy in all these countries. When we look at the graph, democracy is preferred over dictatorship everywhere in South Asia, all the 5 major countries in South Asia except in Pakistan. In Bangladesh 69%, in India 70%, in Nepal 62%, Pakistan only 37%, and Sri Lanka 71%. So this was a recent survey of attitude of people in the 5 big countries of the region, showed that there is widespread support of democracy in all these countries, and the ordinary citizens, whether rich or poor, belonging to different regions, view that the idea of democracy positively and supported the institution of representative democracy. That is, we are going to do a contract with the representatives, and these representatives are going to work for the citizens. They also preferred democracy over any other form of government, and think that democracy is suitable for their country. So all these findings were very helpful, because these findings, up till now it was thought that only prosperous countries of the world can have democracies, and when we see this survey of South Asia, we see that experience of democracy has expanded the global imagination of democracy, that poor countries, developing nation, where majority of the citizens are uneducated, in these countries also democracy can be established and it can be working. Especially when you see the case of India, when we got independence in 1947, we had masses. We had largely, the population of our country was very large, firstly. Secondly, we were very large country. Thirdly, all the people of the country were illiterate. To hold the elections, we had to take up a different way of holding the elections, and it was a question that whether we will be able to even have the elections properly the first time. But over the years, we see that Indian democracy has been very successful. So this notion, this global notion that democracy can only flourish in prosperous countries was actually became a false, because in poor countries, developing nations also, democracy can succeed, and the citizens of the country prefer these citizens of South Asian countries prefer democracy over any other form of government. We will be doing all the countries of South Asia, their political system, the working of their democracies, the conflict within these countries in details.